Hello, friends. My name is Dave Miller.
And I'm Al Spain. And we are...
No, it's not the Halloween episode.
You all know that. I could just been very scared. We're your fuck buddies.
It's my birth month.
Huh. I wondered why it was so sticky.
I was born this month.
Oh, man. You almost got to the cool month.
November is known as the stickiest month.
It's true. But yeah, you almost got to the cool month.
I think you mean cold as in temperature because it's December and there's nothing good about... can't even say that. There's fucking Christmas in December.
Yeah.
That's pretty much the only good thing.
And
there's New
Eve.
Year's. New Year's is also there. But, like, we're really celebrating January on that night.
No.
Yeah.
No, because January sucks. It's
But
like the last blowout. Like, December's so good. It's like, shit, let's seek another party in. Because New Year's morning is not good.
New Year's Day, yeah.
Yeah.
I guess that's fair.
New Year's Eve is fucking wild.
New Year's Day is pretty boss.
Depends.
One of my favorite days ever was New Year's Day. I was very hungover, and I ate exclusively. I went to Burger King. I left my house once. Went to Burger King. I bought enough food to last me the entire day, and then I watched the entire season of Making a Murderer.
Which is great, but also harrowing.
Yeah.
Makes me so sad. I still want him to go to
It
WrestleMania.
changed me as a person.
It did. Did you ever watch the second season? Because I didn't.
I haven't seen it yet.
I know. I don't know why I didn't, but no one watched it apparently.
I didn't even know it was out yet.
Oh, it came out like 2 years ago.
I don't know if that's true.
Pretty sure it did.
And we're the pop culture podcast that you listen to. Fuck buddies. Do we just do this thing? Do we just get right in there?
Yes.
Okay. Do you want me to start you off?
Yes.
This comes from Hentai Fapper 999.
Yes.
Can anyone give me advice? Okay, I'm an 18-year-old male, and I've been talking to one of my ex-coworkers for about a week now, and she's the first person I've talked to in 3 weeks, because I seem to annoy everyone I talk to. She had a thing for me in the past, when I was with my mentally abusive ex. She's awesome, and she seems to actually like talking to me. We were supposed to go see a movie next week. I'm just so nervous, and I don't know how to react. I'm scared that I'll mess up, and she'll be another person that'll stop talking to me. Does anyone have any tips that could spare me?
Tip 1, don't show your Reddit username.
Yeah, for God's sakes, maybe change your Reddit username.
Yeah, get rid of those human-sized pillows you have in your room with anime characters. No, that's not fair. Well, I don't know. Like you're doing well, obviously. You know.
There's so many like little clues in this question. Like, first and foremost, the username is a pretty.
I thought this could be a way weirder question.
Yeah. Although the fact that they say it's been 3 weeks since they've talked to anyone,
that's bizarre.
I don't know if they mean like talk to someone in a romantic sense
or just a human.
Because they just said I've been talking to one of my ex-coworkers, so I don't know if they mean like talking as in like, we're talking,
we talking,
we're talking, or if they actually mean they have not had any human contact in 3 weeks. Because that's
not
troubling.
Healthy.
Yeah. Then they say that they were with a mentally abusive ex, which I assume they probably also mean emotionally abusive.
Which, like, obviously can explain why you would be, self-doubting and self-conscious.
Especially when, like, they think that everyone stops talking to them because they annoy them.
Yeah, that's a very sad thing to say about yourself.
Yeah, so, like, I don't know if that's something that was sort of, like,
also like
inceptioned into their head,
mm-hmm.
You know what I mean, as a way to control them and be like, oh, they're not talking to you anymore because you're annoying. You know what I mean? Like, that's one of the biggest things that, like, people who are abusive in relationships do is cut ties.
Yeah,
so that
exactly.
you're dependent on them. So, like, that could have been their tactic, was to just be like, no, you're an annoying person.
Mm-hmm.
I'm the only one who deals with you. Everyone else leaves you because you're annoying.
Yeah. Or a lot of people could have just said, I'm not talking to you anymore because you annoy me. Or you're annoying.
Yeah.
So if that's the case, we need more context.
Yeah,
we need the specifics of why you're annoying. And if it's something your asshole ex said, you know enough to know they were abusive, don't trust their shit.
Yeah.
It's like, there was a good quote being like, I wouldn't take, like, if it's not someone you would take advice from, why would you take, like, bad shit from them? You know what I mean? Like, if you wouldn't believe, like, their advice, or if you wouldn't, like, trust them, why would you then take bad shit they say to you?
Right.
So someone's like, you're a piece of shit, and you believe in it, but, like, they're assholes themselves. Is like, if they're not worth it, they're not worth taking their bad shit from.
Yeah.
This is our eloquent episode. Because that was explained so well.
I think you actually quoted that. That's going to be on a picture of a sunset one day. Now Spain.
Or Taz.
Just going to, like, yeah.
Tweety Bird, Betty Boop, which you're holding out hope for.
Yeah,
I don't think there was one.
That blows my mind. No one knows what the fuck we're talking about
No.
here. Yeah, so if you know specifically for a fact that people are like, you're so fucking annoying, just chill.
Yeah.
I think there's a time. It's very hard to sort of change your personality, so to speak. But if there's something that you're always doing,
Yeah, if there's something like concrete you can point to, or people have pointed you towards, like
and I don't want to rag on this subgenre of culture, but like, if the only thing you talk about is anime and or hentai,
what's wrong with anime, dude?
Well, what I'm
I talk
saying
about
is-
anime all the time.
yeah, but that's
No,
not,
I know.
that's not
It's-
your like persona. You know what I mean?
If
It's
you're
like, you are
hammering someone,
multifaceted.
if you're hammering someone around the head with anything, like if all I talked about was beer, all I talked about was guitar, all I talked about was climbing, it's all I talk about. That'll get very annoying, probably, or at least there's a way it could be done very annoyingly. Or if
Yeah.
like, obviously you're not like very socially confident, which whatever, that's fine. But
Yeah.
sometimes that manifests itself in a lot of ways that are not you, but can be annoying to people who are, in the presence of yourself. So like, it's always good to like examine your own behavior and like think about like, what are you doing and like, why are you doing it? Like, are you trying really hard to not be annoying? Because that can be annoying,
Yeah.
like,
Yeah, are you constantly asking people, be like, "Oh, like I'm sorry,
annoying?
is this annoying you?
Yeah.
Am I annoying you?" Because that's another thing. Like people who have social anxiety and various mental disabilities, or who have been like emotionally abused, they assume the worst 9 times out of 10, and they, you know what I mean. It's like a lot of people who suffer from social isolation. It's not because people don't want to talk to them; it's because they're afraid that people won't want to talk to them
if they talk to them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think that's like 9 times out of 10, a lot of these people will want to reach out, but they're so scared that reaching out will bother someone that they don't.
But I think like, if it's something your abusive ex said, fuck it, get that
Absolutely.
out of your head.
Get that. Yeah. Fuck off.
If it's something people have said to you like with regularity, and you have no, like, again, look at who's saying it and kind of judge it a little bit before you take heed
Yeah.
of it. But if you think it's a possibility that you're doing X or Y, maybe look about like why you're doing it and whether you think it's fair that they be annoyed by that. You know what I mean? If they're just dicks, fuck it.
But if there's a consistent
important-
trend in
yeah.
your behavior,
Just
then
think
maybe
about it, right?
Maybe take a second to don't beat yourself up about it. Don't feel bad about it. Just sort of be like,
And also, don't just automatically get rid of it, because it might just be you're hanging out with the wrong people
Yeah.
or whatever. But there's definitely no harm in trying to consider it, because it's not coming out of nowhere.
life is a game of give and take. You gotta know when to like take the foot off
When to hold them?
off the gas. Yeah.
When to fold them.
Yeah. Was it? Did you come up with that too?
Yeah,
Damn.
I know. It's
Killing it today.
Yeah, I also came up with that term.
Killing it.
Yeah,
God damn.
I know. And
It's crazy. Did you just come up with language now? You're just
no, that'd be ridiculous. Come on, man.
on the plus side. Like
But yeah,
usually I don't say going to movies is a good idea,
What?
but this might actually work in your favor because
Yeah.
you don't talk during a movie.
yeah. And if you talk afterwards about the movie, that's a safe topic of conversation, I assume, because you just saw it. Unless you're one of those people who just like tears apart everything for no reason.
Yeah.
But what I was going to say is, like, those 2 bits of advice aside, things are looking good. Because you've talked to this person and they want to go out with you. Like, that didn't just happen. So take that and be like, I don't know. I doubt you just bumped into them and they were like, date?
Yeah.
Like, you did something to get to that point. So clearly that was working. So, like, you're in the blue.
You are in the blue.
You're doing good. Like, you're up there. It's not like you don't know this person. It's not like you don't know anything about them. You've talked to them. You've interacted with them. It went so well that you're going out with them
Yeah.
on a date. So, like, things are going good.
Yeah.
And, like, let that bolster your fucking confidence.
And if you're really, really scared, nervous the first time, there's no harm in having a short date. There's no harm in sort of like meeting up for a coffee or a drink beforehand. Like, very briefly, even do it in the fucking theater. Most theaters have bars now.
Yeah.
Meet up. I guess you are 18, I think. So maybe,
Depends which country.
yeah. So like, even if you're just having a soda or like,
Yeah.
sharing some popcorn before the movie or whatever, there's no harm in like doing that and then seeing the movie and then maybe like doing another quick thing, maybe like a walk to the bus stop, a walk to the subway station, whatever it is, and then calling it there.
Yeah.
Because
Again, like,
a
once
good
you do
date,
it naturally.
Exactly. Yeah. Don't run away. But like, if you feel like there's a natural way to sort of like keep it truncated,
Yeah. Ooh.
you will benefit from like the mental knowledge of being like, hey, that was a good date.
Yeah, a good date cut short is far better than a good date that stretches out till it's a bad date.
Because like you might start getting flustered and make it a bad date because you panic or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
If you've got a good date, it's like anytime you try something new, if you're successful at it, you're going to be more excited to do it again in the future.
Yeah.
And your confidence in doing that will grow as you get better at it.
Yeah.
So to start off with a short win is better than like risking you getting uncomfortable, you getting awkward, or you getting, quote unquote annoying.
And it's not one of those things you even need to plan out beforehand, you know what I mean? Like, there's no harm in thinking of like a reason why you might have to be like, oh, I'm so sorry, like I have early work in the morning, like, but this is so much fun, like I hate to cut it short, but can we do it again sometime? Like, boom, no one's going to be upset about that. And
Exactly.
like, so having a reason like that in mind, totally fine, but like, don't think you're going to do it before you get there.
Yeah,
I mean, have
play it
an
out.
option, but like if you're having a great time,
Yeah.
enjoy that time.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know? So just like, I don't know, like cut yourself some slack. It sounds like you're being really hard on yourself. If assholes have said bad things to you, they're not people you want to listen to. Like, fuck that. If people you trust or people you respect have said things to you, no harm in taking a look at that and like seeing what you can change if you want to. Again, they're just because someone says shit doesn't mean they're right. And just realize that you're in a good position.
Yeah.
You know, you don't like people don't just arrange to go out with you for
At
no
the very
fucking
least,
reason.
you're on the upswing.
Yeah.
So ride that wave.
Maybe you've already fixed it because obviously you did not annoy this person.
All right. Hit me.
Good luck, by the way. And we're sorry we mocked your username.
It's a bad username.
It's a pretty bad username. Okay. This is it bad / petty to refuse to date a coworker solely because they are a single mother? I originally posted in the Am I the Asshole sub, but it got removed. So I'm posting it here. It has also since been removed. This coworker of mine seems to be very interested in me. I say seems because she's overly cheerful, playful, flirty with everyone, but recently she's been overly flirty and suggestive with me, to the point where others around the office are jokingly calling us a couple. Thing is, she's a single mother, something that's a hard stopper for me relationship-wise. Don't get me wrong, I have absolutely nothing against her past, what she hasn't done in her life. It's nothing like that. In fact, she's someone I genuinely want to remain very good friends with and be part of my life. It's purely a personal choice, part of my criteria for what I'm looking for in a partner, much like how some people won't date others who are taller or a different religion, etc. I personally just don't find it fair that if I was to get in a relationship with her, I'd essentially have to share her with her ex, lawyers, and child. Her ex is a deadbeat, but parents are helping fund legal battles, so constantly in our court speaking to him. I also want the child to be accustomed to a father figure, role model in their life, only to be disappointed if it doesn't work out. Plus, I really don't want children, even biological ones. Time a week and a half or so, having to change the conversation of anything remotely having to do with relationships, romance, or sex comes up, which is often, or having to find a reason to leave the room if we end up together. And it really doesn't help that other coworkers are egging us on, teasing us to make it official. Essentially, just ignoring the situation, nothing goes away, but I know it's not the best way to handle it. I don't have the heart to tell her the truth, and possibly hurt her feelings, especially seeing how genuinely excited and happy she seems talking to me. Tell it to me straight. How should I handle this, and am I the asshole?
I mean, I don't think he's an asshole. I think everyone's got the right. Like, if you don't want kids, like it's. I don't think he's being an asshole. He might be approaching it. He might be using verbiage that
I think
isn't the best. But like, if someone had, like, if I don't think I would want to date someone who had kids.
Yeah, I think like just because someone's in a certain position, it's like saying I don't want to date someone who has like a very demanding job because I wouldn't get to see them, or I don't want to date someone who's unemployed because like I'm worried that I wouldn't be able to see them enough for them, or like we'd never be able to go out because they don't, like these things are fine. I think, right? The fact that he's being like, oh, it's cool, like religion. That's a weird one. But also,
I don't know. I wouldn't want to date someone who is hyper religious either.
Yeah, he didn't say hyper religious though. He said someone who's a different religion.
Oh, fair.
But whatever. Maybe he's just. It's not necessarily that he supports that. He might just be
using it.
But it kind of seems like he's saying that's okay. But whatever. I do think some of the things are weird. Like when he's like, I don't want to share her with her son /ex /lawyers. That was a really weird part for me because that made it seem like, I don't know, like you're just super overbearing if that's an issue already. Because it's either that you don't want them spending time with anyone, or it almost seems like you're jealous that they're going to see their ex. So that just like screams toxic behavior to me. But in general,
I could see it going the other way in that I can, in my head, that's a constant source of stress that's only going to manifest in behavior coming his way.
fair. Yeah.
You know what I mean? Again, I would not want to get into a relationship with someone who's like currently going through a divorce.
Yeah. No,
Because that's an emotional state that is volatile at best.
Yeah.
But
so also, the thing is, though, that's not how he words it.
I know.
Again, if he was like, I know it's a really stressful time and like, I feel guilty or whatever, but like, I don't want to add that to my life. I'd be like, yo, I get it. But saying I don't want to share her with her kid and or lawyers and or ex, that's a weird fucking way to phrase it. But at the same time, yeah, you're allowed not want to date someone because of their situation.
Yeah.
However, do you have to tell them that?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Well, I mean, like, if she's constantly, like, if he's just sort of playing the neutral card and she's, like, throwing out signs of interest and he, like, never sort of has the conversation of, like, hey, I really like you, but I'm not interested in you in that way. He doesn't have to say, I'm not interested in you because you have a kid.
That's what I meant, though.
Yeah,
I said, if you're not interested for that reason, do you have to tell them that?
No, I don't
think so at
no,
all.
Not at all. Like, I don't have to literally explain why I'm not attracted to everyone who's attracted to me.
Yes.
That's a crazy thing to do because that's only going to end in a lot of hurt feelings.
Exactly. And it sounds like that's exactly what he wants to do, though.
Maybe. I don't know. Maybe.
Because he's like, I don't want to have to tell her. It's like, yeah, you can just tell her you're not interested. Just like, hey, I really like you. I'm sorry. Like,
yeah.
You can come up with a lot of different ways. And you guys are still going to be friends. And still going to be fine. It's not going to be awkward. If you're like, hey, you're a single mom. Like, that's a slap in the face. And that's going to make her then feel really uncomfortable about future relationships.
If it got to the point, if he was like, oh, I'm really sorry. I'm not interested in that way. I really like you as friend. And I would like to very much keep a friendship going. And she kind of pressed and was like, well, why not? Why not? Why not?
Yeah.
I think it's fair for him to say, you know, I just don't want to date someone who has a kid. It's not something that I want in my life. Like, I don't want to have children. And to start a relationship with someone who already has one is like, I'm already betraying my, like, what I want out of my life.
Yeah.
I think that's fair. Like, if it's pushed, I think it's fair to say that. I don't think it's fair. I don't think it's, well, I mean, again, it's fair, but like, I don't think it's a tactful maneuver to be like, sorry, I'm not dating you. You got kids. Bye.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I think there's a very sort of fine line in which you can walk here and sort of reveal all the information that you want,
but
without being a dick.
Phrasing is important. And, like, you can go about and just be like, look, like, you know, I don't want kids. Therefore, if we were to get in a relationship with each other, it would mean, like, it could go nowhere, which I'm not looking for at this time in my life.
Yeah.
Because if we were to go somewhere, like, then I would, you know, have a kid you know what I mean? Like, you can explain it quite nicely. You don't just go, and you're a single mom.
Yeah, that's not the go-to maneuver here. If that is your go-to maneuver, then I will change my answer to, you are an asshole.
Yeah.
But
so,
I think for, like, in the broad scope of things, no. If it's the same thing, it's like if someone is attracted to you and maybe they're like a little heavier than you prefer, or a little thinner, or you know what I mean, like
not your
or
type,
anything,
or
you know what I mean, like different hair color, different hairstyle, whatever the fuck you're into. I don't think it's necessarily important to impart that wisdom to them, because that's just a matter of like,
that's a personal preference thing,
yeah,
but
exactly.
You wouldn't help but internalize that, right?
Exactly. So I don't think I don't think you need to be like, oh, hey, you're actually too chubby for me, so sorry. Because like that doesn't get anyone anywhere.
Unless you're a dick.
Yeah.
Don't be a dick.
Don't be a dick.
But yeah, the fact that I guess like the reason why I'm kind of negative about this is because he's gotten removed from 2 different forums, and I think just a lot of it was like the comments he's been making and shit. So it's like extra context, just being a dick.
Yeah.
So just don't be a dick.
Don't be a dick. And this comes from a user submitted question. It's a friend of ours from all the way in New Zealand.
Ooh.
So Agent Kiwi says, so I kind of like this guy. And the first time we really talked was at a comedy party a couple months ago. We're both comedians. Everyone went to the bar, and then eventually it was just us drinking together, and it was a good time. He kissed me before he went home, which I wasn't expecting, but I was happy about it. But in the following months, we haven't really talked too much. I can text him, and he'll text me back, normally, and I asked him to hang out one day, and we went out for drinks, and it was fine, but there's never any follow-up if I don't initiate. It's annoying, especially when he says he'll text me about something, but he never does. Yet he likes my Facebook posts. I know social media doesn't mean anything, but like if you can like my posts, you can text me back, damn it. I mean, he's like 38 and pretty busy, so I think that factors into it, but nobody is that busy. I guess my actual question is, should I just drop it or never talk to him again? Or is there any chance of any actual interest?
See, it's a tough one because like I understand where the social media, like if you have time for that, you should have time to text somebody back. But like liking and shit, it's mindless. Like sometimes I'll like something and I don't even know who posted it. You know what I mean? Because it's literally just scan tap. It doesn't actually involve any brain power or any like effort. So like they're not kind of the same thing. But yeah, that kind of sucks. Because it's a tough one to, you know, I would probably just leave it, because I feel like if someone is interested and you leave it, then either they won't get in touch and you have your answer, or they will and you have your answer. But like, again, I wouldn't necessarily just give it up without having like one more try. You know, it all depends. Like when you guys went out for those drinks the second time, did you guys also kiss and do stuff like that? Because that I think is telling. Like if you kissed that one time, went out the next time and it was like bloodless, then, you know, I think that's a very different situation. Whereas if you went out again and like hooked up or whatever, then that's also, you know, there are two very different paths there.
What we're saying is we need the juiciest of details when you send me these questions. More juice. We need just dripping. I want your questions to be soaking wet. With juice.
Spewing even.
Yeah, I think if the second time around you hooked up, I think there might be sort of a like age difference kind of thing happening here, because she's much younger.
That's also another thing. Like,
so I don't know if it's kind of like this guy being like, cool, the cute little, you know, younger girl is into me, and he's just kind of like very flippant about that. You know what I mean? It might just be sort of like a, when he's got a taste for the younger flesh. What? I'm just saying, like, he might have things going on in his life where it's like he might be using her as a backup to, like, oh, you know what I mean? Like, if you never text her and the only time you ever want to see her is on the, like, you know, when the stars align and she texts you at the right time and you're free, like, that seems to me as someone who is using someone specifically for a purpose, and that's usually sex, especially like if you're older.
True. Well, I was gonna say, I guess something similar, but like
not quite as creepy,
not quite as harsh. Basically, just like if you're 38, and I don't know the age of this person, but like
she's in her 20s,
in your 20s, you're at different times of your life. Like 38, a lot of people, if they're not already settled down, are like kind of looking for it quite frantically,
or very much set in their ways,
100% kind of committed to never doing it. So it could be that he doesn't see this becoming like a steady marriage thing, or he never wants a steady marriage thing. And in either one of those cases, I don't think a more regular thing is going to happen. You know, because if he's looking for someone to get married to and he thinks you're too young or not in that kind of like mind frame or whatever, then he's not going to pursue it. And if he thinks it's just going to be a casual thing, then he's going to let it happen casually whenever it suits him, right?
Yeah, I think there's no harm in sending that, like, that ball in your court text of being like, hey, I'm actually really into you. I would like to see you more often. If that's not what you're into, just let me know and we could drop it. Or if you want to keep it on like a, you know, every 2 months you guys get together, hook up, and not talk. If that's something that like you're into, if that's in your wheelhouse, that's cool too.
Yeah,
you can also be like, look, I'm into you. But like if you don't want to pursue this, that's cool. I'll pursue other things. But you know, when you got a taste for the younger flesh,
just never.
You shoot me a text.
Yeah, I guess it all depends. Like also where you want this to go. Whether it's like I like him and I want to date him, or I like him and I don't. But this all is definitely contingent on that drinks. Did y'all kiss and stuff or not?
Yeah, it's the damn juice.
So this is, I think, the first time we are gonna ask a user a question, and this is from podcast maker Nospe,
and this is from Hentai Addict 998,
and they ask, did y'all kiss and stuff?
Did you kiss?
Did y'all kiss and stuff?
Did you kiss
and stuff?
And stuff?
That's what we need to know, because if you didn't, it's possible like it was just like one night thing. If you have, then I don't know, message them again, see if they come out, and if they do, be like, we should do this more often.
Yeah,
and see what they say. And if they're like, oh yeah, definitely, and then continue not texting you back, fuck it. Keep it as like a occasional booty call.
Yeah, I
But-
mean, there's no harm in keeping that number in your back pocket when you have a taste for the older flesh.
Maybe he has younger flesh too.
Yeah.
You don't know where he got it.
If you notice he has like a sack of flesh in his place, maybe stop seeing him because you might be the next one to be harvested.
True. Yeah. This is our after Halloween show.
Yeah, I know. It's the residuals of.
It's what we call a spook stain.
Oh god.
But yeah, I know that's kind of vague, but I think we cover the viable options.
Yeah.
All right, ready?
Yep.
Hobbies to get girls to approach you?
Ooh.
This is for Popo McPopo.
Nice.
Cold approaching can be a real grind sometimes, especially if you're out of state or actually looking for something serious. Instead of cold approaching, have any of you guys ever gone a different route that gets girls to approach you? For example, pursuing a hobby that really puts you out there, e.g. performing in a band, dancing, etc. Would this approach be better in meeting interested, high-quality women? I'm looking for a serious relationship. I don't want to spend every weekend for years just blindly chasing tail. P.S. I understand that even if girls approach you, you still need the basics to flirt and pull. Let's assume I have basic seduction competence.
Yeah, of course. Come on.
Let's assume.
I don't think anyone who still uses the word chasing tail
thank you.
as any amounts of smooth.
I know.
Like, unless this man is literally 80 and is really
Yeah.
trying to, like, just, find a whole new lease on life.
Well, actually, that's very possible because his grandkids might call him Popo McPopo.
Yeah. Maybe that's... Oh, God.
Yeah, I really wanted to stop the question while I was reading it and just lacerate that term, so I'm glad
Yeah.
you did it because...
like, the only... he's got to wear a fedora, right?
Oh, man, at least two.
Yeah, like, he's double stacking fedora.
Yeah, because also, like...
His head is like a Pringles can, but like a fedora's.
Ooh.
Like, just old Pringle can.
Yeah. And like a full one.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Like, no one's popped and no one's stopped because they haven't popped.
Yeah, because they will not start.
Yeah, maybe he should pop because then he would not stop and then he wouldn't have those fedoras.
You just...
And that's step one. No offense to anyone.
I don't even know. I don't even remember what the question is. I got like
you need to give this man hobbies
Uh-huh.
that'll make women approach him.
setting yourself on fire.
Well, I also just think like yes, no. In general, like hobbies are not a thing you do for any reason other than the fact that you like them or like that they're self-beneficial. You know what I mean? Doing them. To
What's more
attract-
beneficial than having the tail chase you?
I know. I'm just imagining a bunch of cats running at you backwards, and it's terrifying.
Or adorable.
Both. Or that scene from like Fuck the Elephant, where they paint their butts like faces.
What?
Yeah. What's it called? Not Dumbo. No, not Tintin. That's a little sailor boy.
What the hell are you talking about?
Let me find it. Elephant butts painted. Hold on.
Yeah, that's a Google search that you want to do. Make sure you go right to images.
Barbar.
They painted their butts?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
What episode of a bar are you watching that has fucking...
Hold on, let me find this.
Maybe you're a hentai addict.
Maybe.
You're looking at very, very choice bar porn.
I really hope this wasn't like some weird thing that I saw and just assumed it was actually from it. That would be hilarious.
I'm going to assume that it is. Because it was a children's book and TV show that I highly assume probably didn't have butt painting in it.
I don't know. No, okay, I'm sorry. You're going to tell me this wasn't in Babar?
Yeah, that's pretty fucked up.
Yeah, they painted butts. I'm not an idiot. Well, I might be an idiot, but they painted butts.
The weird thing is like, Babar
Look at this. Look how many butts they're painting.
I know, but what I'm saying is he's in full clothes. Like he's an elephant that's standing upright in like a business suit.
Yeah.
So what are they?
That's the thing, is like...
Are they is he not a regular? Is he a mutant elephant? Or like are they just like, fuck this shit. I'm not doing that. I'm just gonna be naked and
Well, that's the thing, is
eat
like...
peanuts all day.
It's a kid's book, and it's for, like, kids, and it's about animals, and it's like, whatever, you're not sexualizing the animals because animals don't wear clothes. Oh, wait, one of them is.
Yeah.
And he's painting the butts of all the naked animals.
Yeah.
And that's a fucked up message to send. I don't even know why they were doing it. I think it was to scare people, which, yeah, that's terrifying. Why was I saying this?
You know what? The scariest thing isn't the butts painted. Mm-hmm. It's the elephant doing the painting.
in full clothes, like some kind
like
of weird.
yeah, like if I walked into a room,
Henry
I wouldn't be like, "Oh,
Weinstein.
look at those scary butts." I would be like, "Why is that elephant standing upright
I'm wearing clothes.
and wearing clothes? Why is he wearing a full suit? Also, who's the bitch with a crown?"
However, together, that's a terrifying tableau. That's a spook stain if I've ever saw one. I forget why I mentioned elephant butts getting painted.
I don't know either.
Fuck. Setting yourself on fire. Don't do hobbies if you don't want them. Oh, tail chasing you. Yeah, them running back towards you with
Right.
painted face butts.
Holy shit!
Your cat is losing his tits. But yeah, like, I don't know. I think you need to be genuine about your hobbies because it's much like lying to someone on a date. People are gonna
But
know.
it's you that you're lying to.
Yeah,
Like,
but also, like, there's
you
nothing...
should like your hobbies.
Yeah, if you're making yourself do a hobby you don't like, then you're going to be fucking miserable. You're also probably going to suck at it because you're only going to be good at things you like, generally, you know, or at least that's the best way to be good at something. So if you're doing something you don't like, guess what? You're probably not very good at it. Guess what? No tail is coming chasing you because you're shit at guitar or
Yeah.
you're really bad at dancing or like how about this?
I will say, I'm a pretty bad dancer, and
But there's a
women love
difference
it.
because you enjoy it.
That's true.
And it's not like, you know what I mean, though?
Yeah, that's a fair
Like,
point.
How about this? How about this for a fucking switcheroo? What do you want to do? Do that thing. Because odds are, if you have another hobby, you're going to be a more interesting, more well-rounded, better person.
You were like just about to start a Missy Elliott song there. I got really excited.
We had our singing episode 2 weeks ago, Wink.
Wink.
So, hashtag capoeira. So yeah, just fucking pick something you like and go do it.
Yeah. Because I mean, there's so many things that you could do, and enjoying doing it. Like, if you are into dodgeball, chances are it's probably a co-ed team. Chances are you're going to probably meet a lady or two there.
Even if it's not a co-ed team, your team you become friends with from you actually committing.
Yeah,
and
going
having
out,
fun.
they introduce you to friends.
Well, maybe, yeah, one, they have friends. Two, you might just go for a fucking drink after dodgeball.
Yeah.
Maybe they won't chase you, but you will be out of your fucking hovel.
Yeah.
Just like, and again, this is not to say that if you're not 100% sure if you like something, you should try it or not. 100% try shit you don't know you like and all that. But like,
Don't try it in order to
get
the attention of women.
It needs to be like honest. I know that probably sounds really dumb, but like,
Not at all.
like, do it because you want to, or else it's going to be a fucking waste of time, life, energy, everything. It's going to be fucked.
Yeah.
The only tail they'll be chasing you is a tale of woe.
I'm taking away all your inspirational poster rights.
Tailing away all of yours. Backwards with my painted butt.
This comes from Reddit user
Friends?
Dr. Rick Marsh 007. Am I the only guy who feels like it's a performance every time for having sex? Was just thinking about my ex-girlfriend and our sex life. Looking back on it, I was the only one who actually put in an effort and tried to make sure she was having a good time. Each time we had sex, I would be super affectionate with soft kisses and the such. Would also try so hard not to come too quick. It made me realize I mostly did all of the work while she just laid, I don't know, there on her back. And then I would ask her how well I did. This might seem like a dumb question, but does anyone else feel like they're performing or entertaining someone while having sex? Any insight welcome.
I get that. I feel like if you're not like a shitty, selfish lover, then your kind of like focus is always going to be on their pleasure, which, you know, can make you feel that way because at the start, like, sometimes it's really nice when they've already come once or twice or whatever, and then it's like, it doesn't matter if I come. I can do whatever I want. I can just have fun, you know. Not that it's not fun before, but it's hard to get that out of your head when you always want to make sure that their pleasure happens, you know what I mean? Also, there have definitely been times you're with people and you're putting in all the effort and they're just like, they're literally doing nothing. You're like, why? But, so I kind of get it. I do also think this stems from insecurity as well, because the immediately finishing being like, how well did I do?
Yeah, that was my red flag.
Yeah.
Where he was like, I did this very specific thing every time and then asked how well I did.
Yeah. Also,
It's like-
the fact that every time it's soft, passionate kisses or whatever.
Yeah.
Sometimes don't do that. You know, they're great. Don't never do that, but like shake it up a bit. So I'm imagining the insecurity, which fuck it, I get it, man. It's cool. We all have been there and or are there and or will be there at some point. So like that's okay, but you also need to like it's always going to keep you in your own head while you're doing it, right? Especially you're struggling not to come, you're struggling to do whatever. It's not going to be as fun for you because it is a performance. It's you trying to achieve this one goal. They can kind of suck the pleasure out of it if you're too worried sometimes.
You're cutting this guy a lot more slack than I thought you were gonna, because like think about. I know it's happened to you, but think about having a girl ride you and she's doing her fakest porn moans, and like putting on that like performance. Mm-hmm. It's the most annoying fucking thing.
Oh yeah, you've heard about my porn for the hard of hearing story.
Yeah, it's
I hate it.
Literally the least sexy thing. Mm-hmm. And everyone knows when what you're doing is for the benefit, like quote unquote benefit of them, and it just makes things so uncomfortable and so like it just pulls all the sexiness out of the air, and it just fills with like this phony aura of just like no one is going to enjoy that experience. You're not enjoying it because all you're trying to do is like show how like you're pretending so hard that you're enjoying it. And if you're pretending that you're enjoying it, you're not enjoying it. And I tell you, whoever's on the receiving end of that pretending,
they can feel it.
They know you're doing it too. And automatically they're like, well, this guy's not enjoying it, or she's not enjoying it. They're not enjoying it. What the hell is happening right now?
Yeah.
So you've entered into this vaudeville
it's
shit show of a sex act, and like no one's having fun. And then at the end of it, you're like, how to do?
Well, yeah.
Asking for like, the 5-star rating at the end of it. And that person is then either going to have to be like, it was weird as hell, or be like, no, you were great. And then that's just reinforcing this crazy bad shit behavior. So it's like this whole cycle of like, either you crush this person's dreams and they're, never going to recover from it because they're trying their fucking damnedest, or you tell them they've done a great job, and then that's just sort of like, well, I've done it. I figured it out. This is what I'm going to do every time.
So I read the question a little differently, because feeling like you're putting on a performance doesn't mean you are putting on a performance. Like, he might be just having normal sex and enjoying it, but in his own head so much about pleasuring them. That's kind of how I read it, that he feels like he's performing because he's not in the act. He's trying to get their pleasure out of the way so much that he's not thinking about his own. So he's removed from the experience the fact that he feels almost like he's performing. And I think a lot of that then speaks to why he would be so self-conscious that afterwards he would be like, how'd I do?
Yeah.
But that's totally a valid way to read it as well. I just didn't. If that's the case, bud, don't do that. It's the worst. Yeah. You're right. It literally, it's like getting your sexual chemistry and just garroting it.
Yeah.
It's like quickly in the corner of the room. Like,
not even quickly. Like garroting it, but with like a wet dishcloth. just slowly choking the life out of it. Because like, if you're trying not to come, it's probably lasting longer than it should. And now it's just this horrible fucking, like I've been with women who, like they've seen porn, or they think that this is what guys want, or for whatever reason, it's like they do this like performative screaming and moaning and like this really bad dirty talking. Like I once had a girl be like, "Do you like my big tight ass?" And I was like, "What does that mean? I'm not even having sex with your butt right now." Like. Also, you're on I was like, I don't know what that means. I'm in missionary right now. I don't see it. I can't see it right now.
You're basically like being like, it's as if you're walking down the street and somebody just fucking has a string attached to your back and they just yank you up into the air because you're being pulled out of that sexual experience.
Yeah.
Oh, so hard.
Yeah, it's like and 9 times out of 10, anyone who thinks this is like the way to do it, it's like you've gotten like a Mad Libs for sex.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like you've just thrown like an adjective and a noun together, and you're just like, tight nipples. And you're like, no, what are you saying right now? Please stop. Just
like
stop.
My tight wet nips. What?
Do
you like my gushing eyebrows? Yeah, like, by the way, that is the reason we're recalling our sex app.
Our sex Mad Libs.
That you would just you press random and it would give you dirty talk, because we killed about 97,000 relationships, or like sexual ones.
Honestly, this podcast is a court-appointed thing that we have to do, sort of mend. To sort of like it's our 7 pounds.
Yeah, I guess this time we announced we were 6 Mad Libs. The famed app, where you'd hit random and it would just give you just like what we thought was the dankest sex talk.
Yeah, but like we only tried it once, and the first time it was like tight butt and like big ass.
Do you like my appropriate genitalia?
Yeah, and we're like, damn. I mean, it's
like,
it's accurate.
And
it's
I looked at Dan and I go, yeah, I do.
Yeah.
And we're like, fuck.
Nailed
that was a
it.
good moment. We high-fived.
We didn't try any of the other like hundreds of combinations.
No, and like wet gushing eyebrows. That was not.
I don't even know why we put gushing in the fucking list of adjectives.
I know why we put eyebrows in, but
yeah,
like,
oh hell yeah,
100%. Like most erotic part of a human face.
So that was a joke about my eyebrows.
It was not actually, but yeah, gooshing should have been out. Spewing, obviously, stay in.
Oh, yeah.
That would have been fun. Spewing eyebrows? Yeah.
Spewing should have just been like just
Every
default.
one of them,
it's just sort of like.
Do you like my spewing butt? Yeah.
Oh boy.
So I think 2 ways of advice, 2 ways of reading this. Try not to put on that performance. Like, again, kind of like hobbies. Make it genuine, right?
Yeah.
If you were like, if you want to talk dirty, if you're like, I don't know, because I don't want to like stop people from starting, like if they want to or if their partner wants. It can be sometimes awkward to begin. I think sometimes when you begin, you got to use our app. And by the way, use it. That's fine. We haven't really recalled it. Don't tell.
It's still in the App Store. It's just we just don't charge anyone for it.
No, we do.
The thing is, like we've said it like from fucking day one. Communication is the best way to have good sex. Mm-hmm. So instead of just assuming that like soft, affectionate kisses is what she's into, because clearly that's not like. She wasn't feeling it. You know what I mean? Like, if she's just lying there, that might just be, like, not her thing.
Or
but,
just,
you know what I
she
mean?
might not just also be an active participant.
Maybe. That's also true.
I
think what could it, like, if he's asking for a rating, it might have happened once. He was like, yeah, that was really nice. Mm-hmm. And then, so, like, that was what he thought, like, that in his head was like, okay, well, I've got my formula down. Like, soft, affectionate kisses, and then I'm gonna like just focus on a chair or like an inanimate object so I don't come.
Yeah, I do think like as a general rule, if you're always doing the same thing, you're doing it wrong.
Yeah.
So the fact that you can say I'm doing X, that's not good.
If you
right?
can say each time,
each time we do, I do, even if it was passionate kisses or like just fucking real hard fucking like, what's the word I'm looking for? Like just drilling, just real hard drilling. Jackhammering, that's what I was looking for. If all you did was jackhammer, you're doing it wrong. If all you did was like slow sensual thrust, you're doing it wrong. And unless you're with someone who has like just weirdly specific tastes. But even then,
it's also like, I don't know. I'm sure I do a very similar thing every time I have sex.
But that's different.
But I can't say in my head, each time I have sex, I do this.
Yeah. If you can just lay it out on a roadmap and it's like this. Unless it's like our genitals connect.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, like if the only thing I say is like, yes, every time I have sex, my penis is inserted inside someone.
Yeah.
But yeah, if you can say like every time I have sex, I do this.
Yeah. That like shake it up a little bit. But yeah, I don't know. Like I don't want to be too harsh on the guy for being like how was that? Or like how was I? Because you know, I remember when I was real young and I was having sex, occasionally I would ask that because I would be so up in my own head and like part of me I'd be worried that they were performing, you know, and other parts are like I wanted to get better, and then other parts like I was really self-conscious. So it's like a lot of doing that led to occasional conversation when people were confident enough to be like, hey, yes, however, or no, that was good, and hopefully meant it. You know what I mean?
Sorry, I don't want to seem like I'm saying that having the post-sex chat is a bad idea. But I don't know.
I do understand where you're coming from, though, because the way he phrases it,
I don't think asking how well you did is the right question to ask.
Yeah.
I think asking if they enjoyed something, or if, you know, be like, hey, I really liked when this happened. Would you also enjoy if I did this? You know what I mean? Like, if you start, you know, if you want to get into, like, slightly rougher sex, and, like, the first time you have sex, you sort of, like, test the waters fairly safely with, like, maybe pinning her hands down. You know what I mean? And you can then say, like, hey, I really enjoyed doing that. Did you enjoy that? Yes, I did. Cool. I would actually like to maybe introduce handcuffs, introduce, you know, ropes play or something. You know what I mean? It's like that. I don't think there's a problem. But I think if you're just looking for sort of like a
Yeah.
How well did I do?
Like a pat on the back.
Yeah,
And then-
or even just like a rating. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It just seems very like
Well,
his.
we also have our app. It's called Sixuber. And you rate them after every ride.
that already exists. You remember that fucking weird thing?
No.
I can't remember what the hell it was called.
But wasn't
it
that
was like,
rating people? Like, that was just like, rate this guy, not like, rate this sex. Like, imagine if it was like an
it was
Uber.
a part of it though.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it was like
Each time? Wasn't
uh,
that just like rating sex in general? Like, imagine if it was like every ride in Uber.
Oh
You're just like,
yeah.
boop.
Ooh.
But yeah, like, part of me is like, I don't, again, context, right? That's the one curse of this podcast is like, I don't know whether he's being flippant and like brief and being like, oh, ask how well I did. And by that, he means, you know, we have a chat, like, blah,
Yeah.
blah, blah. Or he's literally like, how'd I do? So I think it's good that we both land on different sides of that because we never know. If it feels like a performance, I guess you need to look into why. Like, are you too self-conscious and preoccupied with their pleasure? Are you literally performing? Are you guys just not comfortable enough yet? Because I think a performance makes you feel detached. So that detachment could come from many different ways. You're too self-conscious and not in the moment. They're not into it, whether because of something you're doing or in general, or you're not into it, or, you know, there's this self-consciousness.
Yeah.
Or you're actually performing.
Yeah.
So I think you gotta examine those things and like,
Yeah.
don't perform.
Yeah, and stop asking for a review and start talking about like a mutual, what's beneficial for both of you,
Yeah.
what you guys both like. Have a more in-depth, genuine conversation about sex if that's what you're looking for. Thank you very much for listening this week, guys. We are having a great time doing this, and it's always nice when you guys submit questions and when you guys send us your feedback and tweet at us and message us. And if you're one of our new listeners, hey, what's up? Thanks for giving us a try. If you have a question, you can send us various means of communication. You can find us on Facebook at facebook.com/FCKBuddiesPodcast. You can find us on Twitter at FCK_buddies. You can also hit us up on email at fbuddiespodcast@gmail.com. You can also find us on the World Wide Web at fbuddiespodcast.com. There's a little contact form you can fill out. You can send us your question. You can assign yourself an agent name, or we can do it for you. And we will get these questions into the soonest episode that we can.
Thank you, Josh Eagle and the Harvest Cities for Song Paper Stars.
Get some bad sex writing for us?
Yes. Okay, ready?
Yep.
No, but are you comfortable?
Yep.
All right. Oh, it doesn't actually have who wrote this. It's probably better that people don't know how bad this person is. I slide my hands all along his spine, rutted with bone like mud ridges in a dry field, to the audacious swell below. His fingers inside me, his thumbs circling, and I spill like grain from a bucket. He is panting, still running his race. I laugh at the incongruous size of him. I want mud ridges in a dry field to be going through your mind when we fuck.
Yeah. Is that her description of his spine?
Yeah.
That's
also,
gross.
like, the audacious swell. Talking about their butt? Or, like, out of context, you'd imagine that's their peen.
Yeah? Or
but-
maybe he's just like,
He's got
really
that,
needs to go
that
to a
big butt.
chiropractor. Or chiropractor.
Oh, yeah, maybe.
Maybe he's got like a slip disc or something.
Also, why is she laughing at him?
Maybe it's a nervous laugh. Maybe it's too big.
They have to be fucking the farm, which is why they're talking about fields and grain from a bucket. No, these things are sexy. Why the... Ugh. God damn it.
Not to you. Different strokes.
For different farmers. Ready for Dan?
Yep.
Is anyone ever ready for Dan? Don't lie to us. Dan says, I have a new girlfriend. I want my ex back.
Damn it, Dan. So we've started a new thing. I mean, it's not that new anymore, but I give a little sorbet at the end to clean our palate of Dan.
Oh, you got some sorbet?
Sorbet. And it's a Pornhub user, and I read their comments. This comes from 420XX Blaze It XX420,
Oh, hell yeah.
and they said, she said it's 9 at night, but it's bright as hell. Please, guys, I need to know what time it is. My name is Dane Miller.
And I'm not Spain.
That's my last name weird. We're your fuck buddies.
Happy November. Wink. Wink.